All right, since the last video, I also have brackets for the seat belts. I'm gonna put three-way seat belts in this thing with retractable seat belts. All right, I was gonna try to weld these plates in, but when I drilled the holes in the panels, I quickly realized I had my sound deadening mat behind there. So before I put the roof on, I went through the trouble of putting the mat in, but I didn't go through the trouble of installing these. Oops. So I'm just gonna tap them. I'm gonna use some stainless flathead screws, and I chamfered the hole so that it will push the sheet metal into this a little bit. I mostly want these secure, and I have to be able to mount these permanently in there so that if I service the seat belts, I can take that bolt out without them falling out again. And I'm going to use a piece of coat hanger, go through the hole, loop it through these bolt holes, and put a loop on the other side, pull it back up, and try to get these screws in by manipulating it with a pocket screwdriver or a pick or whatever I have to use, and get these bolted in. Then I'll be able to paint the back panels. I don't want to paint them in case this idea doesn't work out and I do end up having to cut something or whatever. So that's the plan. All right, I hope the camera's not getting blown out by all the gray primer and the white light, but we'll see. Plan is feed this screwdriver in here. Feed this coat hanger in here. And should be easy. It's all wide open back there, but the problem's going to be, the bigger problem's going to be turning the plate to line the holes up, but we'll see. I'm going to feed this plate through. Now I'm going to need it to come up this way so I can line those holes up together, put the Phillips screws in here. I'll get to get one screw in, then I'll use the main bolt to hold it. This has to go this way, backwards. And I'm going to put this in a little loop. If it falls off, it's no big deal. The hole, like I said, the hole's wide open. And I'm going to pull this thing up here, and we'll see if it works. This is the only thing I can come up with, since I did not remember to do it when I was supposed to. I'm going to sit down on my little foam pad, work on this a little while. Hopefully it won't take too long. I almost started spraying paint this morning, and then I'm like, uh-oh, can't do it. Now I've got that. Now I need to take my pocket screwdriver, try to manipulate one of my holes into place. I don't know if you guys can even see it from there. Oh, you're not even, what are you doing, man? Pay attention. Now I got this plate in place using my little coat hanger device, which I also have to get out when I'm done. I got to find the other holes. It's probably totally facing the wrong way, but I'm going to play with this a little while. You get the idea. If I can get this lined up and get these two screws in, then I got a setup that's going to work, and I can go ahead and start painting. Okay, that looks like I'm close now. I just twisted my little tool. I can pull it against the wall of the truck and get a screw started. We will be in business. I did a lot of measuring. Doesn't mean it's accurate, but it should be close. I made the holes for the screws about twice the size of the screw head. So if I'm within a few millimeters, we'll be good. I got about 175 thousandths of leeway for people who want to hear imperial measurements. I'm pretty close. That's what that means. That'll be easier with my Phillips screwdriver. Oh, I didn't want that to happen. Yeah. Would have been a little easier if I would have remembered to do this while I had the roof panel off, but it'll be all right. Now that sound insulating mat is actually going to help kind of keep this thing snug, and it's not going to rattle. It won't rust in between it and the panel where the bolt's going to go. All right. Now if I can get my little coat hanger out of here, I'm pretty happy with how that went. I didn't really think it was going to be that easy, to tell you the truth. We're not out of the woods yet, but now I can use the same coat hanger tool I made on the other side. All right. I gotta say, I really didn't think it was going to go that well. I didn't have perfect. I mean, I was hoping they would be more flush than that, but I could probably loosen the plate if I wanted to just kind of jiggle it around once I get this close. But I think we're good. I'm going to call that a win. I'm going to spray some primer in here too on this bare metal before I bolt this in too tight. I'll go do the other side real quick. Show you what it looks like up close. I'm pretty happy with that. It's going to work. Same thing on this side. I got the first screw started, which is the hardest one. Now I can just use my little coat hanger and line that other one up. I got this one spaced a little bit better, I think. We'll see. They're going to get painted over, and the mechanism that this is basically the top hinge for a 3-point seatbelt harness or seatbelt. It's going to have retractors and everything like a modern truck. This one's lined up a little better. My wife will be happy. Her seatbelt fits better. But you won't see this. Is going to be covered by the mechanism anyway. But I'll know it's better, and I'll make sure she knows about it. Throw a little bit of primer on these. Try to get this coat hanger out of here. Ugh. That might be a little challenge, but we'll get it out. And we come back, we'll start doing some paint. There it goes. If you're doing this on your truck, highly recommended technique. It worked pretty well. I couldn't find any videos on it. I just sat there and racked my brain a little bit last night, trying to think how I was going to do it now that I forgot to do it with the roof panel off. It worked out. Actually, thought it was going to be much harder, like I said earlier, but it's like any problem you come across. If you just take a minute, think about it, it's usually not so bad. Let's get some primer on that. We can get paint on it maybe today too.